No Sleight of Hand Magic.
Welcome to No Sleight of Hand Magic. I am Ron Stone, and today I'm going to teach you all about the magic number 4. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's start the show.
So we've all heard of magic numbers, but have you ever actually seen one in action? It's really pretty cool. Check this out. If you would, go ahead and pick up this deck and start to deal down the cards. I'll let you know when I want you to stop. Let's go ahead and deal down some cards. Okay, I want you to stop right there. I'm going to take this card out. I'm going to set it down right over here. You can put these down. And now when you start to talk about magic numbers, some people are going to say 13, some people might say 7, but for the most part, people agree that 3 is the most magic number. So here's what I'd like you to do. Go ahead and pick up this deck again and start to deal down the cards. And now it doesn't have to just be cards off the top. You can take some cards from the middle, you can take some cards from the bottom, go back up to the top, as many cards as you would like. Okay, you good with that? Okay, perfect. So these are our cards. We're going to set these other ones down right over here. And now if you would, go ahead and deal these cards out into 3 different piles. Okay, so remember what I said. Most people believe that 3 is a magic number, but I'm here to tell you today that the most magic number is actually 4. Don't believe me? Check this out. At the beginning, I pulled a card out of the deck. That card just so happens to be a 4. After that, you went through. You pulled out totally random cards and you dealt them into 3 piles. All I have to do is take this 4 and tap it on these 3 piles, and just like that, we're going to have all 4 of the 4s. That is the trick, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this one. I love performing this trick. This is so much fun. This requires no sleight of hand whatsoever, and there's a really simple setup. If you would like to see how it's done, wait right there for the how-to walkthrough. Okay, so now you know if you ever need to pick a number in any situation, the right answer is always 4. I love this trick so much. It's really fast. It gets the spectator super involved. They're going to love it. You're going to love how simple it is. Let's get right into how this works. To start things off, all you're going to want to do is pull the 4 4s out of the deck just like this. And now pick out any small amount of cards. In the performance, I use 6, but anywhere right around 5 is going to work just fine. And all you're going to do is you're going to take this 4 of a kind, the 4 4s, set it on top of the deck just like this, and now place those 6 cards on top of the 4 of a kind. That is literally all you have to do. So all the setup is 6 totally random cards and then the 4 of a kind. Now you're ready to begin the trick. So to set the stage a little bit, I like to bring up magic numbers. This is just kind of going to get the spectator ready for the second part of the trick. After you bring up magic numbers, you're going to invite the spectator to pick up the deck of cards and start dealing off of the top. So what you're doing here is you're going to allow them to deal down the 6 random cards that you set up at the top, and then deal down the first 4, which would be the 7th card. Once they've dealt down this first 4, you're going to tell them, okay, stop. You're going to pull that card off to the side just like this, and then you're going to invite the spectator to set down the rest of these cards. So at this point, we have the 6 random setup cards, we have the 1 4 right over here, and then we have the rest of the deck which has the other 3 4s sitting on top. At this point, you're going to pick up this deck which has the 4s on top, and you're going to set it on top of those setup cards just like this. So now we have this deck sitting right over here with the 3 4s sitting on top of it. This is the setup that you need to get these 3 cards back up to the top at the end of the trick. And at this point, you're going to bring up the magic numbers again. You're going to ask the spectator if they have a magic number or talk about 13 and 7. But what you're going to say is that most people, and this is true, most people believe that 3 is the most magic number. And so after you tell them that, you're going to have the spectator pick up the deck and you're going to invite them to start dealing down cards. All you're trying to get them to do is to deal down these first 3 cards. Those are the only cards that we're worried about. Those are the 3 4s. So once they've dealt down the 3 4s, it doesn't matter which cards they pick, where they're from, how many cards they deal down. At the end of this, these 3 cards are going to end up at the top of the 3 piles. I know this seems strange, but it really works. So check this out. After they've dealt down those 3 cards, have them deal a few more, and then tell them they can take cards from the middle of the deck, they can take cards from the bottom of the deck. It totally doesn't matter. Pick out as many cards as they like. And then once they're satisfied, have them set the other cards down. And then you're going to take this pile and you're going to say, okay, we're going to now deal this pile into 3 separate piles. The beauty is it doesn't matter how many cards are in this deck. Ultimately, the last 3 cards that they deal are going to be these 3 4s. And so those are going to be the top cards of each pile. So I'm going to go ahead and deal these out into 3 piles and show you what I mean. Okay, so check this out. I only have a few cards left. We're going to put this one here, and now I only have 3 cards left. These are our 3 4s. So one goes there, there, and there, and just like that, we have the 3 4s sitting right on top of these piles. It's really cool how that works. So at this point, what I like to do is I like to really focus the spectator's attention on these 3 piles. So I'll frame them with my hands just like this. And I'll say, now remember, most people believe that the most magic number is 3, and I'll really focus on these cards. But then I'll say, but I'm here to tell you the most magic number is actually 4. And then I'll move my hand over here so they kind of get reminded of this card, which has been sitting right over here the whole time. So at this point, I'll say, you'll remember at the beginning, I pulled a card out of the deck. That card just so happens to be a 4. And now remember, you went through the deck and you picked out totally random cards and you dealt them out into 3 piles. So because the 4 is so powerful, and then I like to pick up the 4 and just tap it on these other 3 piles. Obviously this does nothing, but it makes it a lot more fun. And just like that, we have, and then go ahead and flip over all of the 4s. So really have fun with this one. After you know the secret behind this trick, it might not seem as impressive to you as the magician, but I promise you, your spectator is really gonna love this one. So now, as always, if you would ever like to come back to this video for a reminder of how to do this trick, coming right up is the 60-second tutorial. 60-second tutorial.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and have half a second, please subscribe to the channel, poke the like button, and comment who you want to impress with this trick. And remember, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and have half a sec...